Hi guys, welcome to Full Time Devils. I'm Adam McCullough. This is MUFC Daily. Good morning. It's Friday. Manchester United are in Premier League action against Sunderland at a Stadium of Light tomorrow. Cannot wait for that one. It's an early afternoon kickoff though, which means my long journey starts bright and early in the morning. Remember, you can keep up to date with that all. I'll be taking over the Twitter timelines and Snapchat, #MatchDayMac, so check those things out. For now though, let's get stuck into the daily United news. First things first, the under-21s were in action last night. Again, second time this week. Their schedule's all over the place. Sometimes they go 4 or 5 weeks without a game, and then like this, they have 2 in a week. Very strange, but the boys did us proud. It was a professional performance by the under-21s yesterday, which saw them win 1-0 against Manchester City's elite blazing squad, or whatever they like to call their under-21 team. But it was a 1-0 victory, professional performance by the lads, and there's a review of that up now on our Twitter page, twitter.com/FullTimeDEVILS, by Mr. Stephen Howson, who was at the game. So he'll save me my breath and he'll do my job for me. So go check that out. Anyway, moving on from that, in the Independent this morning, there's a lovely interview between Mark Ogden and Louis van Gaal. Unlike a lot of journalists who have just totally gone after Louis van Gaal, and despite some of the criticism being justified, they have hounded him a little bit. So it's nice to see this interview with Mark Ogden. Louis van Gaal shows a different side to him. He speaks about the young players, injuries, Jose Mourinho to Manchester United, and I'm sure that's the one you want to hear about, isn't it? If you want to read the full interview, then head over to the Independent. But on Jose Mourinho, he speaks about how he's got a great relationship with Ed Woodward and the Glazers. I hate saying their name. Anyway, Ed Woodward and the Glazers, and that he doesn't believe any talks have taken place between Jose Mourinho and Manchester United, Ed Woodward. But he wouldn't be surprised if the club were looking for his successor, and he wouldn't blame them for being in the market for a new manager. So yeah, that's how it stands. He also mentions that he's Jose Mourinho's friend. So again, this is why I said it makes sense when I spoke about the rumours that Jose had agreed to be our manager. Him and Louis van Gaal already have a relationship. I wouldn't be surprised to see Louis van Gaal say, look, I'm leaving, yes. So if you have appointed him, doesn't really mind. It's one of his guys anyway. So it would all definitely make sense. And I can see Jose Mourinho coming into Manchester United and just totally making me very awkward, because everyone knows I don't really want him at the club. So yeah, should be very interesting. Moving on from that and to Ed Woodward's meeting with sponsors. So we met with sponsors to discuss various things. Now, funnily enough, sponsors never spoke about Louis van Gaal, Ed Woodward, the football. We know they're not interested in those things, but also there's an agenda that they have to discuss, and they don't go off that agenda. So they met yesterday, and he did mention there's a youth appointment in the coming days, which is great news, because as we know at Manchester United, I think again, it's been overblown a little bit about our academy being underperforming, this, that and the other, because let's face it, our academy is still churning out players, and we're still producing players that are either going on to play for Manchester United or going on to have top flight careers at either Premier League, Championship level, or what have you. So we're doing that. I mean, look at Leicester City, for example. Danny Drinkwater, Danny Simpson, used to play for Manchester United. So proof's in the pudding. We're making players who have great careers or go on to have a football career anyway. So I think that's a little bit of a myth that our academy's totally gone to pot, but it needs improving. It needs people employed in various positions. And we need to do that fast, because ultimately we will eventually fall behind. Now, I don't think Manchester City's academy is ahead of us. They might have better facilities, yes, but ultimately it comes down to a ball and a pitch. And I think it'd be nice to see us get a few appointments in place to make sure that the potential and the players that we have at the moment are used and are fulfilled, because we've got great players there. I mean, you look at, Callum Gribbin, Joel Rothwell, you're looking at James Weah, Andreas Pereira, Joel Pereira, loads of Axel Twanzebe, Fosu Mensah, who was an absolute beast again yesterday. So we have got great players there. We just need to bring them through properly, and we need our academy to be structured properly. So it'd be great to see what goes on with those appointments. He also spoke about tickets as well and touched on the thing about Liverpool. Now I think Liverpool fans made a great stand. They got that decision reversed, fair play to them. But ultimately it was a little bit of a small victory because I think it was a small percentage of tickets, and instead of selling them at £77, they still sold them at £58. That's still very expensive, do you know what I mean? So it is a small victory. But Ed Woodward mentioned that, and he was like, oh yeah, nothing enough about that. We're trying to help away fans. That's 20's plenty, right? And even then, there can still be a lot more done to help fans that are following football clubs around week in, week out, and have been doing so for years. Anyway, before I go, Sven-Göran Eriksson has been talking up Rooney to China, and it's a move that I wouldn't be surprised to see happen in, say, like 12, 18 months. Wayne Rooney, as we know, is on the decline, had a great 2016 so far. He will only be useful to Manchester United for another few years, so eventually he'll probably be looking to move on. We know that. China, big money there at the moment. A lot of Brazilian players are going there. Sven-Göran Eriksson manages there. He manages in Shanghai. So is that a move that you could see happen in the future? Yes. And I think that's the only way Rooney will leave Manchester United, because I can't see the likes of Barcelona, Bayern Munich, Real coming in for him with big money. Who else will offer big money? He's going to have to go to the MLS or, you know, China. So yeah, guys, that's what we've got to discuss today. Let us know what you think in the comments below. Make sure you subscribe to Full Time Devils. For now, I am out of here. See you later.
His contract's been leaked, and that's a 15 million a year, 3-year contract, and there's talk of the Atletico sporting director coming in alongside him.